Have you ever felt like you were all alone in the world, with no one to turn to? That's exactly how Eli felt. His story begins in the cold, quiet halls of the St. Jude's orphanage, a place that was supposed to be a home, but for him, it was just a building full of strangers. From the moment he could remember, his world was a blur of grey walls and shared rooms. Other kids came and went, adopted into loving families, their laughter echoing in the hallways before fading away forever. But not Eli. He was a quiet boy, with eyes that seemed to hold the weight of 1,000 unanswered questions. He'd spend hours by the window, watching families walk by in the park across the street, a knot of longing tightening in his chest. Why not me? He would whisper to the glass, his breath fogging the pain. The orphanage wasn't a terrible place, not in the way you read about in old books. The caregivers were kind enough, but they were always busy. With so many children to look after, individual attention was a luxury. Eli learned to be self-reliant. He learned to mend his own clothes, to find solace in the dusty books of the small library, and to disappear into the background. He was a ghost in his own life. His most prized possession was a small, worn-out wooden bird, a carving he'd found tucked away in the attic. He didn't know who made it or why it was left there, but he imagined it belonged to someone who also dreamed of flying away. He named it Hope. At night, he would hold the little bird tight, whispering his dreams to it, dreams of a family, a real home, and someone who would look at him and see not just another orphan, but a son. One day, a new caregiver arrived at St. Jude's. Her name was Ms. Anya. Unlike the others, who always seemed rushed, Ms. Anya had a calmness about her. She had warm, smiling eyes that seemed to see right through the invisible walls Eli had built around himself. She noticed him sitting alone in the library, tracing the words in a book with his finger. Instead of just walking past, she pulled up a chair. "What are you reading?" she asked, her voice gentle. Eli, startled, just showed her the cover, a book about constellations. "Ah, the stars," she said with a nod. "They're a bit like us, don't you think? Some shine so brightly, while others are quieter, but they're all part of the same beautiful sky." That was the first time anyone had ever really spoken to him, not at him. Ms. Anya started spending a little time with Eli each day. She learned about his love for stories and his fascination with the stars. She discovered his little wooden bird, Hope, and instead of taking it away, she brought him a small box to keep it safe. "Every dream needs a safe place to rest," she told him. For the first time, Eli felt a flicker of something he hadn't felt before. It wasn't just longing, it was a tiny spark of possibility. He started talking more, sharing the fantastic stories he'd invent in his head. He even showed Ms. Anya his secret sketchbook, filled with drawings of faraway galaxies and mythical creatures. Ms. Anya didn't just praise his drawings, she brought him a new set of colored pencils, a vibrant rainbow that was a stark contrast to the grayness of his world. One afternoon, Ms. Anya told Eli there was a couple coming to visit the orphanage, the Hendersons. Eli's heart did its usual little flip-flop of anxiety and disappointment. He'd seen this dozens of times. A nice couple would come, play with the younger, bubbly kids, and leave with one of them. He was already preparing to retreat to his corner in the library. But Ms. Anya knelt down in front of him. "They want to meet you, Eli," she said softly. "They read your file. They know you love books and stars." Eli looked at her, his eyes wide with disbelief. "Me?" The word was a barely audible squeak. "Yes, you," she confirmed with a reassuring smile. "Just be yourself. That's more than enough." Mr. and Mrs. Henderson were not what Eli expected. They were quiet, just like him. Mr. Henderson had a kind, weathered face and wore glasses, and Mrs. Henderson had a laugh that sounded like wind chimes. They didn't bombard him with questions. Instead, Mr. Henderson saw the astronomy book on the table. "Orion is my favorite," he said simply. "It's like a great hunter watching over the night sky." Eli's eyes lit up. "I like Cassiopeia," he replied, finding his voice. "She looks like a queen on her throne." For the next hour, they didn't talk about adoption or families. They talked about stars, about the stories hidden in the night sky, and about the books they all loved. For the first time, Eli wasn't an orphan. He was just a boy talking about things he was passionate about with people who understood. The Hendersons started visiting every week. They would bring books for Eli, not just to keep, but to discuss. They'd take him to the park, not just to play, but to lie on the grass and find shapes in the clouds. They learned about Hope, his wooden bird, and Mrs. Henderson told him about a birdhouse her father had made for her when she was a little girl. They were building a bridge to him, not with grand gestures, but with small, shared moments of connection. Eli found himself looking forward to their visits, his heart filled with a nervous excitement he'd never known. The knot of longing in his chest was slowly, gently, beginning to unravel. He was starting to feel seen. He was starting to believe that maybe, just maybe, he wasn't destined to be a ghost forever. Then came the day. Ms. Anya sat him down, her hands holding his. The Hendersons were waiting in the office. They had filed the papers. They wanted Eli to come live with them. They wanted to be his family. Tears welled up in Eli's eyes, but for the first time in his life, they weren't tears of sadness or loneliness. They were tears of overwhelming joy and disbelief. The dream he had whispered to his little wooden bird for so many nights was actually coming true. He looked at Ms. Anya, the woman who had first seen the light in him when he was surrounded by shadows. "Thank you," he whispered, the two words carrying the weight of his entire journey. She just hugged him tightly, a silent acknowledgement that his life was about to truly begin. Leaving St. Jude's was surreal. As he walked down the long hallway for the last time, holding Mrs. Henderson's hand, he looked back at the window where he had spent so many lonely hours. The world outside no longer seemed so far away. It was waiting for him. When he arrived at his new home, he found a room painted the color of a twilight sky. On his new desk sat a brand new telescope, aimed at the window. And next to it, a small, beautifully carved wooden birdhouse, a perfect home for Hope. That night, Mr. Henderson, his dad, took him outside to look through the telescope. As Eli focused the lens on the brilliant stars, he realized Ms. Anya was right. They were all part of the same beautiful sky. And for the first time, he felt like he was exactly where he was supposed to be, a shining star in his very own constellation. Eli's story reminds us that even in the darkest of nights, hope is a powerful force. It shows us that connection can be found in the quietest moments and that everyone deserves to be seen for who they are. It's a testament to the fact that home isn't just a place, it's the feeling of belonging. Thank you for watching Eli's journey with us. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that celebrates the power of hope and human connection.